Yeah, okay, we've got all these hundreds of customers in Malaysia using it, but if you put it out to the world, is that what people wanted? That was the main reason why I went on AppSumo. Because the guys really test your product for you. The typing error on your app or one small little function that doesn't work. Hey, why was it updated only 2 years ago? What is your roadmap? What is this? What is that?
Okay, so thank you, Jeff, for being here. I have Jeff. Engine Mailer is something that I'm very fond of because I'm very involved in email marketing. Why did you start Engine Mailer, and what was that one problem that you're looking to solve?
The company, the group as a whole, has been around for the last 20 years. So by DNA, we are a digital company. We build websites, we build applications, and email happened to be one of our core strengths. 15 years ago, we started and we service all the large enterprises, right? The CIMBs, insurance companies, the FMCGs and all that stuff. And after a while, we realized that not everyone had that 10 million, 20 million, 50 million emails to send, right? So there are a lot of customer base that wanted to send, 500 emails, 20,000 emails, 200,000 emails, which we could not do because our product was very, very enterprise, on-premise, install base, it's the traditional type of software. So for the longest time, we were the biggest advocates for cloud system. I go and sign up to MailChimp, I go and sign up to MailerLite, go sign up to GetResponse, right? Because we just could not do it. Yeah, about 7-8 years back, we decided that enough, right? We literally send billions of emails from a group standpoint. So why don't we come up with our own SaaS flavor? Our enterprise product was going through a product transformation. We were having from version 4 to version 5. We concurrently use Engine Mailer as a catalyst or incubation project to drive innovation into our core product. But eventually, it led to Engine Mailer being this rocket that we've killed off this enterprise product.
When do you see the Engine Mailer became like a product on its own?
I think it took us about 18 months.
18 months.
It took about 18 months. So we started an MVP.
Okay.
Because starting a SaaS is not that easy, right? Building the features is easy, but you got to think about onboarding, you got to think about scale, you got to think about microservices architecture.
Yeah.
So it took about 18 months for us to have a base product. At that point, we were deciding, do we now take this innovation to put into the enterprise product, or do we just take this and fly this as a way forward? At that point, I think we made the call because the innovation was so big that we didn't want to deal with upgrading an enterprise product anymore, because the cloud is the way to go.
Yeah, they say
to go, right? So I think that's one. While we address now, we wanted everyone to be able to use Engine Mailer. Naturally, it expanded our audiences. So rather than being a Malaysian company, now we're a global company.
And this was 7-8 years ago.
Yeah, 7-8 years ago.
Oh, amazing. I'm going to go into some marketing, right? How do you market the product?
So this is a very difficult problem for us to solve 7 years back, because we are a product that is in a market that's already very saturated.
Yeah, I mean, you have MailChimp, all that,
I
right?
think companies, billion-dollar companies are right there, right? So it's a game of a David and Goliath. How do I fight? Are you confident? Do you know how to send emails? Is it even going to end up into the inbox rather than the spam box? You've got so many things that you need to talk about, right? So we started off with Malaysian companies, and our first MVP was very API-based, like SendGrid, Mailgun, type of services, right? So we went out there and said, hey, shit, that 0.7 years ago, how many people are sending automation emails in Malaysia? It's hardly anything, right?
Yeah.
So we had the platform, but we couldn't find the right customers to even trigger an API.
True.
Today, there's a lot more triggering. After 12-18 months, then we built the marketing functions. And we realized that Malaysians like the product. So the market strategy was always Malaysia first. So it's all word of mouth. Call up, they find us, we take part in some event somewhere. But then you go through that whole growth cycle, right? How do you get your first 10 customers? 10 come, 10 go. Okay, because it's just hovering around 10, right? Because either you don't have a certain feature, or your product's a bit slow here, or some issues with customers there. Or then you move up to the next scale. How do you get your first 25 customers? Then you go to the first 100 customers, then the 500 customers, then the 2,000 customers. So it's an evolution, right? When we started, we didn't know how to deal with the work. We knew how to deal with Malaysians. Malaysians come, okay, we know out of 20, maybe one spammer. Then when you start applying policies, when you start getting sign-ups from all over the world, different countries out there, there are high-risk countries, mid-risk countries, low-risk countries. We realized that, this country is high risk. Our back-end processes are very automated. So we started having rules. If you're from certain country, I'm just going to ban you. I'm not going to give you your OTP.
Really?
Yeah, if you're Malaysia, I'm going to do this. If you are this, I'm going to do this. Then you start going back to the drawing board. how are we going to be an international company if we are discriminating customers by countries, right? But because we didn't know how to deal with spam. So as we matured and I think the whole AppSumo thing that we went on it, then we started getting all international customers. The view of the company is you can only have one customer base and it's a global customer base and everybody adheres to the same set of policies.
I'm actually very interested in that AppSumo strategy that you did, right? You approached AppSumo or did they approach you, or what's the whole strategy behind it?
AppSumo approached us a couple of years before we went online. But at that point, you go on AppSumo, it's a do or die.
How so?
If your product sucks,
then you get all the backlash.
you are in big trouble. Out of 5 rating, you end up bidding 2 stars and 1.5 stars, your brand is dead. Yeah, okay, we've got all these hundreds of customers in Malaysia using it.
Yeah.
But if you put it out to the world, is that what people wanted? So I think that was the main reason why I went on AppSumo. So that 2 months of AppSumo, I think, was a real experience for us because the guys really test your product for you. The typing error on your app or one small little function that doesn't work, your website is not updated. They scrutinize you on your product release page. Hey, why was it updated only 2 years ago and you got no updates in the last 2 years? What is your roadmap? What is this? What is that? So the learnings were amazing, right? And because the feedback was coming back on a daily basis, they have over, I think, close to 1 million audiences. Everyone had a different request and all these requests were not double digits. Good thing is the Engine Mailer team were agile, right?
Yeah.
So I think we had 3 or 4 version releases every week. So the feedback sort of like leveled up our product from a local gameplay to an international gameplay and sort of like set the trajectory for us. If you wanted to go international, these are the expectations, right? So I think we got out quite nicely in AppSumo. Now we got a 4.8, I think, rating out of 5.
Oh, congrats.
We got ourselves into Zapier. We got ourselves into Make.
Yep.
We got ourselves into Pavly. It was in our roadmap for the longest time.
So it's like, I'm guessing right now, like it's like a $49 thing, lifetime for certain users, right? How many users do you got from AppSumo?
We got close to 1,000 users. And these are paid customers. And because of AppSumo, right, we had their affiliate networks making product reviews about Engine Mailer. YouTube videos all of a sudden became product reviews of Engine Mailer, comparing Engine Mailer to this and that and this and that.
I mean, other people were creating videos about.
Yeah, because they were affiliates of AppSumo.
Yeah.
They were trying to then promote for AppSumo as well, right? So all of a sudden we got reviews, and today reviews is part of our strategy, right? How do we go out to the 1,000 other people that can do reviews for us instead of those that were only done during the campaign, right?
So Engine Mailer versus brands out there. Why would people choose Engine Mailer?
Number one is we wanted to combine a marketing service with an API service. The next one is we realized most of these platforms either limit you by the number of subscribers that you can store. Below 2,000 is free, anything more than that you start paying monthly. Or you had real complex, you want this feature, you got to pay more. So we wanted to simplify that model. So we went that, okay, we're going to give everybody a free forever plan. And because of the enterprise business that we used to have that we are very familiar with, one of the biggest problems the customers have is always having a dirty database. So we said, okay, let's solve this problem for everyone because we already know how to solve it. So today, if you import a list in Engine Mailer, you get free unlimited subscribers. So as you import the names, we clean off duplicates for you, we clean off bad email formats for you. If I'm giving you unlimited subscribers, it just means that I'm giving you more value, I'm giving you a cheaper alternative. What is your biggest asset? Your biggest asset is your database. So I'm giving you a platform right now where you can house your database and segment them and categorize them and target them for absolutely free. And if you send anything less than 10,000 emails, please go ahead and set them. It's our way of giving back to the smaller companies as well. Along the lines, we realized that a lot of marketeers don't have the kind of consistent volume to send on a month-on-month standpoint. Chinese New Year, you send new goals, floor, seasonal, you send more. Yeah, there's Black Friday, you send more. But some months you send less, right? We give them the flexibility to upgrade and downgrade. That means this month you can go to 29, you can go to 49. And next month, if you have nothing to send or less than 10,000, you can go back to the free plan and continue to hold your biggest asset, which is your database.
But I'd like to hear from you, right? When it comes to emails, and I mean, now we are in the age of like instant messaging, social media messaging and all that, right? And some people think email is dead. What is your opinion on that?
I think it's very simple. Email is not the only channel. We have to realize that email is still the most cost-effective way of communicating with your client. The customer journey, the digital funnel. I think this is where people always get misconceptions, right?
Okay.
Email comes when someone has given you interest to your product, right? That means consent is given. Oh yeah, but Ruben, I think I like what you're doing. Go to your website or your landing page or any one of your avenues and say,
Right.
I'd like to know more. Then they give you the email address. You start by
Nurturing them.
nurturing them. So you then use emails to then onboard them. It could be as simple as a welcome email. Then 2 days later, you tell them something about your products and services. But that calendar kicks in after the guy has said, I'm interested. So I think the misconception in the email does not work anymore. They think about, I want quantity rather than quality. I think consumers are getting smarter today, right?
Yeah.
If you blast to 100,000 names and that list has not got opt-in, that means you don't comply to PDPA, to GDPR, to Canadian policies, you will instantly get blocked. It's okay if you don't have a database. It's really easy to build this database now, right? In the marketing world, we see emails going up year on year. Utilization by brands is going up year on year because year by year, you're getting more subscribers, you're getting more members. And once you start automating, if we have 5,000 customers today and 10,000 customers next year, your journeys don't change, right? It's just that you send more emails, right? If your email list is going down, that means your customer is dying, your business is dying. And also bear in mind, spam is one that you need to combat against. And today is a world about personalization. You don't send that same thing to everyone anymore. While you're sending more emails, they are more targeted. Ruben likes this, I only send him that. But the trend that we are seeing today is from automated and API emails. All the way from thank you for buying something to forget passwords to your account has not. It can be as simple as you've not logged into your system for 3 months, right? So those kind of automated emails are picking up because it just reduces the workforce in terms of customer service or customer success to actually call people, and email is still very, very effective when it comes to those things, right?
Maybe I sell fried chicken. I'm not a huge FMCG brand. Yeah. Maybe I have maybe 2 or 3 stores in, let's say, in KL, and I sell fried chicken. I'm a cafe. Okay, what would I send every month?
It gets a lot more interesting if the fried chicken shop now has a loyalty program behind it. Then you start getting points, right? For example, every visit, you get a certain amount of drumsticks or whatever you want to call it, right?
Yeah.
Then you can start reminding them, right? Hey, your drumstick points are going to
Expire so,
right? Why did you come here and you got this free gift? Your birthday is coming up. I give you a free fried chicken. So I think those, when it comes to embedding emails as part of a loyalty program, becomes a lot more effective than just sending and telling you, I procured it. So you have to think about how you start knowing your customers better, and how then do you then embed emails into that journey to actually, the whole idea is engagement, right? Yeah, and how do you engage them and bring them back?
So let's just say I've just started. All right. How soon would you recommend me to start building an email list, and how important is this to build an email list today?
It's got to be on day one when you start the business. If you go and run an ad or a program today, you run a social media ad, you target people to come to the fried chicken shop, it's going to cost you money.
Correct.
It's going to cost you money. Tomorrow you have another promotion, you got to spend that same money. You're restarting everything. Restart, right? But now imagine if the guy has already come to your shop, he likes your fried chicken, he gives you your email.
Okay.
For the rest of your life, you're sending him a promotion without having to pay the social platforms anymore.
Yeah. What about metrics? Like what is a good open rate, click rate? Can you share that from the industry benchmarks that you're seeing?
Right. So open rates have not really changed. I think the average we are looking at about 8% to 15%, but it depends on how targeted your material is. And click rates anywhere from 2 to 5%.
2 to 5%.
2 to 5% would be a good number.
What is next for Engine Mailer? I know you mentioned AI, right? And how do you see emails evolving over the next, let's say, like the next 3 to 5 years?
The lowest hanging fruit in AI for emails is basically the ability for you to break that barrier on writing content. Immediately where that's going to hit to next is, rather than templates for drag and drop, you're just going to go to the AI and prompt it, I want a newsletter for Labor Day to run this promotion. And on the back, they're actually generating, and there's a whole content architecture for you rather than having to do the templates. It's not very far away. I mean, we are also starting some R&D to that.
Okay.
But I think we can do it if we don't have to automate it into those editors, right? You can already use different Gen AI tools for captions, writing, for image generation, got it, right?
Yeah.
And there are some tools that I've seen today that can even you tell based on a prompt that come up with a whole landing page structure for you with the content and the image, right? So I think that's where it's headed. But I think the real game changer would be also on how efficient emails are going to be, right? As AI comes in, as automation picks up, we are still, if you ask me, about 3 years or 5 years behind automation compared to the Western countries. A simple example, you put a prompt on an Excel sheet, it connects to OpenAI, scrapes the internet, it gives you an answer, then it solves that problem for you, for example, right? Somewhere in that process, an email is going to happen. From me, tell me that this has been done.
Okay, let's end this with one last one, right? Okay, what's your message to a business owner, right, or a marketer who has not used emails yet?
Emails still, contrary to what people say that emails are not relevant anymore, you should have emails as part of your business. It's not difficult, and just do it because you will see the results in the long run.